kings and queens, brand ambassadors. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Desiree. Thank you so much. I don't know whether you're a man or a woman, so for me to address you, Miss, Mrs., or Mr. Welcome.
All right.
Dr. Benny
Wow.
and everyone else. Good evening.
Welcome.
I'm here.
Thank you for coming.
You're quite welcome, beautiful.
All right, wonderful.
Recording in progress.
Okay, peace, blessings, enough, whole heap, plenty, a lot of love to all our global brand ambassadors. Really appreciate. Thank you all for joining Deep Dive, Globally Changing Life, this Tuesday, January 28th, and we are rocking and rolling. Wonderful. Thank you all very much here on Zoom, and of course, most definitely on the varied social media platform. I just want to welcome each and every one, and thank you all for coming. We have a wonderful program today, and we are going to kick things off most definitely with our theme song. And our theme song, it is none other than In It to Win It by our international recording singing artist, Lerato Shadari. And at this time, we will be playing that particular song, and we do hope that everyone will enjoy.
We are on passive, shining bright into the future. We rise high with one heart and revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. In it to win Your next stop is on Passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right. Thank you very much, Queen Loretta Shadari. And really do appreciate. And of course, moving right along, have the next item on the program, and that is our mindset. Mindset. Remember that our mindset is very important. In any business, everything in business has to do with two things: the physical, which is the money or the business side of the business, the financial part of the business, and of course, the mental part of the business, which is the system of thinking, putting all of this thing together, getting all of this, whatever the business is, together, the mind, right? And that comes with heart. Most business don't come with heart. But when a business come with heart and with good thinking and good heart, then 80% of that business would actually be the mental, which is the heart. But the money part of business actually has to do with about 20% of the business. And so if we look at it from that standpoint, as opposed to other persons, is actually 80% of money and 20% of heart. But fortunately, we are involved in this wonderful unpassive business, which is 20% of money and 80% of heart. And that is the reason I am sticking with this one, because this one is the right one. And so we are here to develop the 80%, which is the heart for the business. And yes, money will come. All right. And so the person this evening that will be helping us with the mindset, which has to do with the mindset of a successful entrepreneur, is an entrepreneur of herself in her own right, long before on passive. And entrepreneur, she's an international speaker. And of course, we are speaking of none other than Queen Toni Coleman. And so at this time, we will be asking Pastor Queen Anthony Coleman to address us on the mindset. Over to you, Queen Pastor Coleman.
You and every platform, and it's always an honor. And I pray that what I share will be just as encouraging and as what everyone else shares. So the mindset of a successful entrepreneur. And I'll recap what I shared from last week. And number one is learn something new today. And let me share my screen. Okay. So learn something new each day. Number two, don't compare your business to others' semi-business. Number three, pay attention to how your cash flows in and out of your business. Number of reducing cost and increasing cash on hand. And number five, keep your business in but margin. And then we're moving on to number 6. Use resources effectively. Make sure you have the right tools and the right people to run your business effectively. And that is just so true. I'll give an example. Dr. T wanted me to bake this cake, and it was supposed to have been in a bunt pan. And I love to bake. I love to cook. And when I baked the cake, the pan that I used was not the right pan. So it didn't come out right. We and got the correct pan to use to bake this cake. It came out fine. Short example of making sure you have the right tools. And she would always say, if you don't have the right tools, you can't do an effective, efficient job. And it is just so important to make sure that for whatever business you're in, you have tools and you have the right people to run your business effectively. And they too have to have the same type of mindset to want to partner with you to push your business and make it that much more. And which brings to mind too that Mr. Ash has given us the right tools. The products were listed for the first time. Dr. T and I went online and we started looking them over, and we just got so excited because I do accounting and I already know that oak count is phenomenal. And so I can't wait for a lot of the products to come out because I have I have a okay, and causing my business to be that much more successful. So your resources effectively. Okay, number 7, analyze and organize your business on a basis. That's weekly, monthly, and annually. A lot of times, and I've heard testimony of other business owners, employees, a lot of employees and all that. And what they used to do is if they see that an employee works best and they get more out of that employee, they switch them. Okay, switch them. As your business continues to run, take a look at if you have to, or reorganize your business. If you find a product that works better and something that you yourself have been doing and just can't really get it right, then find someone that can do the job better. And anytime you replace someone, make sure it's a person who's more equipped. Okay, not to say that you should go about, you're not doing it good enough, gonna hire you or whatever, but they may not as effective in that position, but find out what position they are effective in and place them there. Not everybody can do everything correctly. And in my business, that's why I have contractors. And for example, for my cover artists, I don't just use one because she may not be as good in sketching faces or doing black and white as someone that I found is very good at. So I have an for I have a cover designer I'm considering, and he's really great at children's pictures. So I have a number like to publish in the future. so I can use him when that time. I have the artist that I normally use most of the time, but I find sometimes she's not, she doesn't really give what I would actually like, but she comes very close to it. In fact, she comes closer than the other. You analyze and organize your business continually. What is it that you need to do to bring it up, to step it up, as Dr. T always tells us. Number 8, cross train your employees. Always all his operations. You don't know what may happen. If you have a primary person, what your business requires, if something happens to that person, you want to be able to have people to cover. You want to have someone that can carry it as closely as they can to the person. So make sure you cross train your employees. If for someone like me who uses contractors, that's why I make sure I have more than just one cover artist, because she's busy with other customers and not have time to squeeze me in. So I have to backup artists that are just as good or close to it to get the job done. So in the area of having your own employees cross train. Okay, number 9, spend only 30% of what you have budget to spend in operating your business. When I was in property management, for example, if I had $400, or let's just make it $1,000 to buy supply, equipment, that time some break down and become broken. Even though I had $1,000, I tried not to spend any more than three. And so if I was able to budget around 300 instead of 1,000, by the end of each month, take 700 and maybe push it into some type of backup uh, uh, folder, or backup account, so that if um, 1 year and it was going to cost $300 or $400. At the time, it was a little more reasonable than it is now, but it was going to cost me $300 or $400. Well, it wasn't in the original budget to replace carpeting, but then or was left each month that I put in a reserve fund, or in a reserve account, came in handy, because I could from the. So in your business, try not to spend more than 30%, or don't get in the habit of spending all of the budgeted money for whatever operations for, because that's monies you can put on reserve in case of an emergency. Okay. Promote quality and excellence, and do business with people of quality and excellence. And I'm doing business from old school. And I'll tell you, BASF Corporation, I was in the accounting department, and I had a lot of hats. So the customer who had called, he needed my help, and I dropped the ball. Instead of being sensitive and return her call right away, I waited. And when I got that time to call her, instead of finding out if I could postpone it, she was very very upset, and she refused to work with me ever again. And that taught me a great lesson because it was time sensitive. And I was the one who had the answer. And so we want to excellence, return phone calls. Take a minute. Hey, return the phone call. Hey, look, I'm in the middle of some. Can you text me a better time? I'm free around this time or that time. If you can't work with the person to get whatever they need done at that present time, see if you can put it on hold. Okay. But get back at them. No, they're just as important. And then having to work with people that just blow you off, that don't return your calls. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And when I was in property management, we were using this company. We would send in our applicants to get credit checks or background checks. And so there came every time we would send it in, we didn't have to wait more than 24 hours to get our responses. The time when these new people, I'll just say new people, we would send in our and sometimes we would wait 3 days and get nothing. So a lot of the people that I worked under at BASF were much older, much wiser, a lot from them. So I ended up picking up the phone and calling. And I said, well, hey, we've sent files over and we're waiting on credits. Well, we're trying to get to them. We're very busy. And this came from our personal representative who serviced us. Talk to someone who is free because you guys usually get back to us in 24 hours. It's now 3. They switched me over to the person, to supervisor. I blended it and I said we can do, or, whatever, trying to be dramatic about it, and kind of find out this person was doing was not necessary. And they were basically new to the position. So the problem was corrected. And we went back to getting our responses in 24 hours. And so we want to, and had it not been done, my the draw found out, because sometimes your job can be time sensitive. The things that you do on your job may be time sensitive. And so you want to deal with people about being excellent in their job and having a lot of respect for your job because you have a lot of respect for theirs. A lot of times, if companies know that you're not about the silliness and you're about business, then you'll gain a lot of that respect because they don't want to lose your business. But if they feel they can shove you aside, sometimes if they feel that they can just shove you aside and keep you on hold and you'll be okay with it, and they'll continue to do what you allow them to do. But a lot of times we need to more or less encourage with to be a little more or have regard for what we're doing, just as we have regard for what they're doing. Okay, so people that aren't about quality and excellence, let them go. Let them go. Find a company will match your energy, and they want to succeed just as much as you want to succeed. The last 11, make sure your business has proper insurance in place. Workman's comp, health, medical, if providing a service. Bond insurance, a lot of um, um, providers who do services, provide services, should have bond insurance. If you're someone that goes in and cleans houses or cleans apartments or whatever, you should have some type of bond insurance. And it's because if you're doing something and then the insurance will cover it, for it being repaired or cover it being replaced. And so just an example, should have some type of insurance. Okay. So recapping from beginning to end, learn something new every day. Especially if it's your business, of course. Don't compare your business to other similar businesses. Instead, whatever their strengths are, whatever their differences are, if you can lesson to improve what you're doing or cause you to have innovative ideas as a result, admire them for that. But don't compare your business to them, because your business is just 9 out of 10. They're probably looking at what you're doing just to see if they can improve as a result of you doing what you do. Number 3, pay attention to how your cash flows in and out of your business. Sometimes we can think, or we're overspending, and we find out, well, hey, for example, I have a free service, PDF Convert, and give 10 free runs of changing Word into PDF, into a JPEG, or whatever. Doing changing into a PowerPoint, stuff like that. And you get 10 free a month. But being a publisher, I use that service a lot. So instead of the 10, and once upon a time, when I was starting out, I didn't pay for it, $6 a month. Okay. And so there are other programs out there. There are a lot more, and there will probably more, but I don't need that. I don't need the other stuff. And so be mindful of how cash flows in and out of your business. What do you actually need? And not overspend. 4, create methods of reducing costs and increasing cash on hand. Know when to use credit and when to use cash. Number 5, keep your business income above a set margin. Don't wait until your business is in trouble before adjusting your cash flow. Number 6, use resources effectively. Make sure you have the right tools and the right people to run your business. Number 7, analyze and organize your business on a continual basis. That is weekly, monthly, or annually. Number 8, cross-train employees. Always have a backup for all business operations. 9, spend a third of what you have budgeted to spend in operating your business. Number 10, promote quality and excellence and do principle of quality and excellence. Don't waste your time. And number 11, make sure your business has proper insurance in place, workman's comp, bond insurance, it providing a service, and etc. So that ends my presentation.
Much, Queen. Oh, mercy. Ah, hold on. Ah, hold on. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, mercy. All right, wonderful. Do apologize. All right, thank you. Wonderful presentation, Queen Pastor Toni Coleman. Really appreciate. Thank you awesomely so much. That was great. And as First Lady Queen Dr. Benny says, great. And as First Lady Queen Dr. Benny says, great presentation. Go ahead, Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford.
Good evening, everyone. Excellent presentation, Toni. If you all notice, she spent a lot of time on number 10, and that is so important. That's one of my pet peeves. How we treat one another is so important. That's something that I teach, even to the people that people who I interact with. How we treat one another is so important in business. We think if you think it's important that we have lectures, but one of the things that Antoinette, Pastor Toni, shared with you a while back when she presented is when she worked at the London luggage shop, because all the products were high end, was because how they were treated by the employees. Okay, and that is so important. So I just want to reiterate that when you're in business, return phone calls, return texts, make people feel like they're important. Don't take a week to get back with somebody or never get back with them at all. That is so hurtful. You want to make everybody feel like they're important, especially in business, especially if you want them to support what you're doing, especially in business, especially if you want them to support what you're doing, your service or your product. Make sure, and then in the old adage, treat people the way you want to be treated. That's not just a cliche. That's a principle to live by. So if you notice, she spent a lot of time on number 10 because that's something that is so important, not only in business, but in every area of your life. You want to treat people the way you want to be treated because you want to be around people who are authentic, who have integrity, and who have a heart to just want to go forth and just be the best person they can be. And that comes from truly treating people with respect and honor close to life. So I just wanted to share that. And Toni, you did an excellent job, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. I do see a Queen Jacqueline Warner, but let me just allow First Lady Queen Dr. Benny to make her comments as she'll be diving in next. So go ahead, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny.
Thank you so much. I would say happy Tuesday of this 2025 to all my queens and kings around the globe. It's so wonderful to see so many familiar faces joining this evening or afternoon. Now, it all depends upon your location. So I want to thank you all for coming. Queen, before I proceed, I want to take this special moment to thank our God, Heavenly Father, for bringing all of us this evening. He loves you so much. That's why you're here. Isn't it, Queen Antoinette? Oh, yes, yes. I want to really thank you for this extraordinary mindset. This is really business. You make me to understand, which that was number 8, that you should cross-train your employees. always have a backup for all the business operation. I do understand, yes, it is very important. If you don't cross-train your employees, they need to really understand what is going on within your organization, right? Thank you so much. And another thing, you say, make sure your business has proper insurance in place. Workman comp, oh yes. Because I can come to your business now, guess what?
Yeah.
And I will do something and just fall, right? If I fall, you must have a workman comp for me, right? So
Accident prevention insurance.
yes. See, let me tell you, one of my I used to teach at the PG County Public Schools. So I have one lady, I don't know, I think she play games with the workman comp. Do you know that the government did not give it to her? So you don't really have to play games when it comes to workman comps, just because you don't want to work for the government to give you the money. No, it is not good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's important that we should, if you have a business, you need to have workman comp no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Save your money to start a business. Workman comes there. It's important. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. If nobody said I love you this morning, afternoon, I want to say I love each and everybody. Thank you so much, my queen, Pastor Antoinette.
All right, all right. Wonderful. The love is flowing. The love is flowing. The love is definitely flowing. Definitely. And go ahead, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek, King Dr. Derek, for allowing us to have this amazing platform, deep dive, where we get our mind in the right place and we are empowered. We're learning, we're elevating. So thank you so much. Um, Thank you, Queen Dr. Benny, First Lady, the host with the most. And of course, to all the brand ambassadors or affiliates, welcome. And amazing, amazing presentation, Queen Dr. Coleman. Thank you so much. And this is really, if we want a successful business, all those tips apply. And I have to go like Dr. T did to number 10. Customer service plays a major role. And of course, when you treat people right, they will always want to come back. I know when I work at the medical practice with my doctor, people still, if they see me on the street today, they say, Jackie, we still miss you over there, because I took time with them. I felt their pain. Whatever they were going through, I was there. It was just like I was in their shoe. And my father always say, treat people the way you want them to treat you. So if you want to have a successful business, the number one thing is make sure that, the people that you hire, that they have good customer etiquette, because that goes a long way. And all the other parts, cross training, employees, that's very important. And it should be done either quarterly or however way they want to do it in your business. But it's something that way your employees are up to date and they can handle the task and they know the task. So cross training is very important. And analyzing your business, on a continual basis, weekly, or however you want to do it, or however we do it, you know. And that's just like promoting quality number. I think that was number 10. Yes, promoting quality and excellence. And I think the greatest example that we have of that is Mr. Ash Mafara, CEO and friend. He promote quality and excellence. and he does business with people of excellence. We're in the right place at the right time. We're being surrounded by people of excellence of all in all aspects of business. And so we can say we are truly blessed. And thank you so much, Queen Antoinette Coleman, for bringing those 11 tips in having a successful as an affiliate, as a brand ambassador, or just basically a business person. So thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love you. Thanks.
All right, all right. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner. Really appreciate. Don't see any more hands. All right, so moving right along, our next presenter is none other than our First Lady, Queen Dr. Benny. And most definitely, she has her doctorate in cybersecurity. And the topic this afternoon, today, is on cyber security. And so, what better person than a person who has their PhD, who have all their education in cybersecurity for us to stay protected in 2025 while we are alive? Because everything that we do today involve being on the World Wide Web, www. Dot. And so, what better advice can we get than from a top of our game, the top of our studies, to help us in this sensitive area of our existence here on this planet, and that is with cyber security. And so, without any further ado, Queen Dr. First Lady, Queen Dr. Benny, over to you.
Dr. Derek, for the opportunity. I appreciate you all. Yes, cybersecurity is very important. In fact, I work in a sensitive environment, very sensitive. So that's why I don't have to environment, very sensitive. So that's why I don't have to play around. So the topic today is about web. Like web, you go to the website and you do things. You buy clothes, shoes, you pay everything that you want to pay. When you purchase something, you have to pay for it. And when you pay online, certain things happen. Sometimes we have to be careful. So this one is about a web application. Web application is crucial for protecting sensitive information, maintaining a user trust, and preventing cyber threat. It's also important because it helps to prevent the loss of sensitive data. It protects data and customer organization from data theft, interruptions in business continuity, and other harm result of cybercrime. It also ensures business continuity through the security. It ensures the regulatory compliance via robust web application security. It also it maintains the reputation through the secure this. It mitigates the risk of cyber threat, and it also enhances the experience by securing the web application. So just give me a minute. So let me share my screen. Oopsie. No. Excuse me. I stop sharing. I'm going to start back. I'm sharing something different. God help me. Yes. And mm, mm, seriously, give me a minute. All right. To normal. I open this. Okay. All right. Let us learn the importance of web web application security, and how to identify the vulnerabilities early to reduce what the risk of attackers. So, as we all know, a lot of businesses have web applications. Every business should have web application that will provide the need of customers. Those applications are very important to the success of any of the businesses. As our Queen, Pastor Antoinette, talks about the business. Now, as you all know, we have software developers have to produce high qualities of application to meet the demands of the business users. You guys notice that our company, OnePassive, is an IT company that deals with what? Artificial intelligence, machine learning. Software is what? Like SaaS, software as a service, which means pay as you go, right? We need those developers to develop our products for us. Now, when they develop these products, then you have, by the way, we have designers, right? The designers and then the developers that will write the codings and develop what is needed. If a customers come and say this is what they want, then they will develop it. But now we do have an important role, and a person, an individual or an employee who is a quality assurance. That quality assurance will go ahead and read everything that the developers have developed or the codings. If there is any mistake, the quality assurance will inform the developer, and he or she will change it before, you know that before he gives it to the production, right? Before they send it to production. So developers are very, very important in any organization. Now the world has become more and more what? Digital. The technology is evolving quickly. And what? Security threats are what? Evolving just as fast. Oh, yes. So we have to do what it takes to protect our environment, our company. Web application security, we all know that it protects the application against malicious attack, right? It takes a collective effort from people like you and I, processes and technology in order to protect the application. So by people, I do not just mean personnel in charge of our security, because web application pass through what? Developers, then DevOps engineers, then continuous integration, continuous delivery and deployment. Now, when it comes to the continuous integration and deployment, before it moves what? It moves what? To the production, as I was talking about. And finally, to the users. When it moves to the production, then the users now, they will utilize it. I mean, they will come and purchase, and then they use it for themselves. If they like it, they will now go and tell their other friends that, hey, this is what I bought. Let's talk about like O Connect. They will be bragging that, oh, enjoy O Connect because it has a lot of key features. You see what I mean? So, most companies have a web application security policy. Remember, every company must have policies and procedures for these employees to follow. It's the same thing as our own policy that has been written within this company. We have to follow, which we did anyway. Now, which is a set of rules every person, every affiliate or brand ambassador must be involved in this development cycle, which must follow the procedure to secure the applications. Right? Web application security is not just something to satisfy about. You must consider it as what? At a very step in the development process, not just at the end before the deployment. You must make sure your technology can avoid modern cyber attacks. Poor web application security will leave your application vulnerable and exposed for hackers now to exploit. Now, the Open Web Application Security Project published a list of top 10 security risks, which they updated yearly. So I am just going to list you some few important ones. One is called broken access control. It is when the attackers will bypass a system permission, right? You know, most of the time when you want to log in, you have to provide what? Your username and password, right? And I have to give you the permission. But attackers, that is why it's called broken access control. The attackers, they bypass the system permission just to log in. So the access control should enforce what the security policy, and if it fails to do so, an attacker can access the restricted information they are not authorized to. They can also make modification to and delete this information. Now we have injection or cryptography. For the cryptogram, it is a study of secure communication techniques where the communication is encrypted, right? So that only the sender, that means the sender, I am the one sending something now to Dr. Derek. He is the receiver, right? Of the message, which that means it is only me and him that can view this content. That is why cryptographic is very important in your organization. You have to have the key to open and read the information. So when it comes to injection, an attacker can inject malicious code into the web application. Now making the interpreter execute what? Unintended commands. Applications that do not have good filter to detect the hostile attack or data. A way to validate the data input by the users are vulnerable to the injection attacks. An example will be SQL injection. So what is it? What is it all about SQL injection? It is a security vulnerability. And when I talk about vulnerability, it means weakness, security weakness that occur when those attackers now, an attacker is able to manipulate the web application database queries by inserting what? Malicious SQL code into the user input the fields. Now, these injected queries can manipulate the underlying database to retrieve, to modify, or delete what? Sensitive information. In some cases, attackers can even escalate the privilege, gain full control over your database server. We have to be very vigilant. Insecure design. When a developer focuses on the design and what the architectural flaws and neglects to implement the security controls throughout the development process of the web application, We call this what? Insecure design. This can happen when developers fail to understand the level of their own security application requires. Next, we talk about misconfiguration, security misconfiguration. Attackers can still gain easily access into your system when the security controls are not properly configured. So according to the Open Web Application Security Project, security misconfiguration can now result from a number of things that include what? Installing unnecessary features, enabling default password. Now, errors, messages that contain what? Too much information, disabling security features, servers with insecure directive, and out-of-date features or software. Well, guess what? Identification and authentication failures. Oh, this is part of our controls, our technical controls within the organization. So almost every application requires the users to verify. You have to always verify. That is why when we migrated to the ecosystem, now they ask you to verify, you have to insert your username and your password, right? If you cannot insert your username and your password, you cannot log into the ecosystem. So if you do not also implement this authentication in your web application, your system is vulnerable because those hackers are there. Now, an attacker can still gain access to your username and password if you have what? If your username and password, or if your password, if you don't have, when you're creating your password, you need to add special characters, numbers. Let's give an example. Monitor. So you will spell it like MONITOR, and then 1, 2, and then ampersand and dollar sign, and then you put another number again. That makes it stronger for you. You cannot identify the vulnerability. So your application should be able to detect the threat and attack in a real time. Also, the security logging constitute what? The sensitive data that should be hidden from the users. Next, we have what? Server-side request forgery. Open Web Application Security Project describe server-side request forgery as a flaws that occurs when application fetches a remote resources without validating the URL. What is it? What is URL? Uniform Research. And an attacker can also force the server to send information to an unexpected destination. So these are the top 10 risks that you can face when practice poor web application security. Now that you know about this risk, let's look at some consequences, right? There are always consequences. So the most obvious consequences of poor web application security is what? The exposure of sensitive data. And you know about the sensitive data, right? Your username, your password, your bank account or bank detail, medical records, and financial records. These are your sensitive data. So an attacker who gain access to this data can use the information to commit fraud. So when they commit fraud, you are in big trouble, which include what? Identity theft. Now, if you cannot protect your web application, you run the risk of suffering financial theft, losing what? The confidence of users who trust you with keeping their data safe. security issues can delay the deployment of application, especially if you do test late in the deployment cycle. Delays will what? Put pressure. Remember, delay. It will put pressure now to the developers. If there is a delivery constraint, and it can entice a big part in the success of many businesses, big and small. Now, if you can gain or get the security of your application right, there are several benefits. You reduce the risk now of the attack. By having a good web application security, you can identify the areas of vulnerability and fix them. Will identify your problems. You fix them, right? You're fixing them before the attack can have a chance to explore them. To reduce the risk, you can hire what? Dedicated security team. Mm, yes. You have like ethical hackers, right? They will be the one to monitor your applications. Team and then set up a web application firewalls. What else can we do? Your reputation remains no business disruption. By identifying the security risk early in the deployment cycle, it will ensure that deployment happens when it is supposed to happen. Delays in identifying the vulnerabilities will also what? It will lead to disruption, which it can then cascade into more severe issues. In conclusion, security should never be an afterthought at the end of deployment or development. Every team member that plays a part in the development of a web application must have a high level of education on web application security. As you know, by identifying the vulnerabilities early enough, it will reduce the risk attackers gaining access to your web application. The Open Web Application Security Project will provide what? A list of security risks you should guide against by following good practice. Loss of revenue, exposing sensitive information, loss of users and customers' confidence, and a ruined reputation as some of the consequences of having poor web application. As you all know, this is where I got my information from. Understanding the importance of web application or what method works best for enticing the web application and what is SQL injection. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, King Carlton. Yes, sir. So, Dr. Derek.
All right, wonderful.
We do have that CEO. He is also an IT guru, right? Being an IT guru, he knows who to hire. Seriously, he knows who to hire. You have to hire the best of IT gurus in order to, well, when it comes to developers, right? We need developers. We need designers. We need quality assurance. We need ethical hackers. We also need human resource because they are the one that will hire. Thank you so much. Queen Violet, proceed, please.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Uh, just give me a minute here, Queen Violet. Really appreciate. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate that cybersecurity presentation. That was just simply awesome. Thank you very much. All right. At this time, we're just going to go into question and discussion. And so go ahead, Queen Violet.
Yeah. Am I here? Can you hear me? Yes. What happened last week was I was applying for a loan and um, everything's done on the internet now. So this person or this company wanted me to send all kinds of documents, like my driver's license, front and back, and all kinds of things. And then after they got my driver's license, they sent me a thing where they wanted me to take a picture of my face. And it was this oval thing, and I had to move my phone into an area where I could fit into that oval thing, just my face. It was really weird. And I did it, but then they came back and they wanted it again because it wasn't clear enough. I was shaking. It was the middle of the night. And so I I think what was happening is they were trying to figure out whether or not me sending this was the same person that was on the license, so that someone else wasn't getting this money. But yeah, and and then I went in and I had to do pictures for something else, and they do the same thing for your um, documents that you need for. Oh, what was it? I was trying to. I brought the wrong forms in, and so they were trying to get a picture of me, and it was like I couldn't believe it. Just everybody, they want your driver's license, but then they want a picture of you at that time because they're really checking to see that the person that is applying is the person on the driver's license. That's all.
Wow, wow, wow. You are on point, Queen Violet. Remember when they asked us to pay the additional fee, which was $140 something for unpassive? So what I did was I used my credit card. But before using the credit card, no, when I tried to use the credit card, they blocked it. So I had to, they said, call the bank. Now they asked me to do the same thing, just like you said. I had to take a picture of myself. And I have to also send them my driver license for them to know who I was. You are on point, Ben Violet. They want to make sure that you are the person, the right person, because uh, they don't want you to use somebody else's identification. In the long run, they will say identity theft. Thank you so much, Queen Violet. I appreciate you. Does anyone have anything else to say?
Wonderful. Definitely.
All right,
Okay.
Queen JW. Proceed, please.
Yes, amazing, amazing
All right.
presentation. Right on. Was blocked, just like you said, Queen Dr. Benny, and they said to contact my bank, which I did. Well, they told me to contact my bank, and I really didn't contact my bank. I contact one bank, and they said it was a crypto. The company was a crypto, and they was not going to allow me to go ahead with the transaction. And I said, okay. So then I tried my other bank, and it was blocked again. But then what my bank did, they contacted. So those security measures are safeguarding us from being hacked. It might seem disgusting or annoying at times, but it's for our own safety. So you're right on point, Dr. Benny, when you bring this information to us, because it's happening. And where we don't be careful with our username and password, we will experience some of those consequences that you spoke about. And most of all, it will boil down to identity theft. And it's no joke, because then you have to get yourself out of it. You will have to get the attorney. You will have to come up with the funds in order to help yourself. So thank you so much for bringing that awareness to us, and we appreciate you and love you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Queen JW. Just happy because you are very eligible when it comes to this web application. It's happening out there. The hackers are there. Now, if you cannot use, that is why they say we have to be very careful with our username and password, with our identification, like our credit card information, bank information, social security. We have to be very careful. And the banks as well, they have to be careful of what is going on within this world. You know, the web, everything. When you want to purchase everything, you want to put, they're asking you for your credit card, right? So nowadays, they are asking for your 4-digit credit card, because it is that 4-digit, the last 4 digits, is going to identify the real 16-digit.
Yes.
Yes, man, because you are the only one that has that particular 4-digit. Just like when it comes to your social security, right? It is only you. It will only identify you, nobody else.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Queen JW.
Thank you.
Queen Rosanna, proceed, please.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day, whatever the time is. We are here again, okay? And we are here to help each other. So I've been getting some, I think, email saying that I owe some pass, okay? And I must call and pay the SunPass bill. However, I have a SunPass account, so I don't need to pay any SunPass bill. SunPass would have sent me a letter in the mail. So I just keep deleting and deleting and deleting. Then I am into a group and I saw other people putting out about these SunPass scammers. Then I saw it on the news about the SunPass, what they are sending out these links. Please do not click on it. Please do not reply to it. Please do not pay them anything. SunPass will not do that. So, Dr. Benny, First Lady, Queen Benny, we appreciate all you have been teaching us and we are utilizing it, okay? So I just want to know it's not going in vain. We are learning from you, all right? This is my little bit that I have to share tonight. Just please don't be too eager to do anything, okay?
Oh my God. Queen Rosanna.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
you for listening. Thank you for coming. And thank you for sharing.
That's all we're going to learn. We are going to learn to let you know that it us right here in the group, it's doing it. So if we are experiencing these things, it can happen to anybody. Be vigilant. The word is be vigilant. Okay, don't jump to do anything. Okay, let SunPass send it to collection agency, and then you will get a letter from the collection agency, and then you can pay that time. Okay, but don't pay the scammers your money.
Oh my God. I am so thrilled. See, that is why, guess what? We are only 20, right? And we have 1.4 million brand ambassadors or affiliates. Sometimes they don't just care about security. They don't care. But they only care when something's happened, when the hackers just hack. Or when they send that phishing email, they say, click here. Because if they were attending this webinar, deep dive, Dr. Derek's webinar, if they were coming here every Tuesdays, they will now understand that they were not supposed to click any attachment. You see what I mean? Workers are out there waiting. And as soon as our CEO comes back, right, things will happen that we may start receiving something, right? Because some of us paid for we paid for the O Connect, right? There you go. So those who paid for the O Connect will receive something when the time comes, right? Now, if you were not attending this webinar to know what's happening, when it comes to these hackers, what are you going to do? You'll be crying, right? Then I'll be smiling. Yeah. Thank you so much, Queen Rosanna. Thank you so much, Queen Jacqueline, Queen Rita, Queen Antoinette, Pastor Antoinette. I appreciate all your support within this amazing webinar, as well as your dedication within this company. Thank you. Thank you, King Carlton. I appreciate your support as well. King Dr. Derek.
Hey, just know that to have a successful business is basically having all that needs to be in place. Um, Keeping track of your money flow, doing good business, customer service, and even business to business. Um, Making sure everything is in place, find ways to reduce cost, increase sales, increase money flow into your business, and decrease money flow out of your business, because that is the blood of your business. That's what one of our instructors in the Step Up program always tells the students. The blood of your business is the money that comes in. And so making sure that your all corners of your business is covered. Operations are covered. It doesn't, your business doesn't go down unless it's scheduled to go down. And always being innovative and growing. Make sure your business always grows with new information and not comparing, because your business is unique. Because you are a unique owner, your business will be unique with its own power to flow. So, I have to put in the plug. And what I taught today is far more that you'll be taught in our Step Up. So, if ever you want to learn a lot later on, even, you're more than welcome to enroll. and I guarantee you will learn far more. And thank you all for allowing me to share.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Pastor Queen Toni. And your last final comment, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny.
Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek. As we all know, web application security is crucial for protecting what sensitive data, maintaining user trust, and preventing the cyber threat. Now, the importance we talk about the data protection, which it prevent what unauthorized access to the sensitive users and the business data, right? It also prevent what the cyber attacks to protect against threat like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and the rest. And guess what? It also maintain what? Your business, our business reputation. Security breach can damage trust and what? Credibility. So web application security is not optional. Guess what it is? It is a necessity. Security should never be an afterthought at the end of your development. So every team members that plays a part in the development of a web application must have what? High level of education on web application security. Organization must implement a robust security measures to conduct regular testing and stay updated with the latest threat to safeguard with the application users and the data. By what? Prioritizing the security businesses, it can what? It can ensure long-term success and trust in the digital landscape. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek, for this opportunity.
All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you all the kings and queens in the house. Really appreciate. Thank you, everyone on the social media platform. Really appreciate. Thank you all for making it deep dive on this wonderful Tuesday. And as we bring the curtains down, we just want to thank you all for being a part of this wonderful experience. And as we close the curtain down on another wonderful deep dive, globally changing lives, we just want to thank everyone for coming out this today. And so we're going to get over into the after party. I don't remember seeing Dr. Nadu, but I think I see King Harold in the house. And so at this time, we're just going to bid a little so long to those on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. But remember, it is deep dive once again on Thursday at 7 p.m. And you have Singapore and Malaysia Thursday morning, 8 a.m. And every weekday at 1 p.m., we have Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn. And of course, come Sunday, it is none other than Dream Team. So, and Monday next week will be Mindset Monday with Queen Miriam. So remember, we have webinars going full speed right around the week. And we thank you all for making it out today. Take care especially those on YouTube. Take care, and you have a fine, wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week until we see you again on Thursday. Take care.